What's up, guys? This is Brave, and I'm back to review Queen Charlotte. Of course, this is going to be the limited series that is on Netflix. This is going to be a review for episode 2 and 3, and baby, let's jump right into it. Alright, so we actually start episode 2 off with it being the top of the morning. Everybody's rushing in to get Char dressed, and I can't lie, my first thought was, so when is she going to bring some black hairstylists into the room? Like, when are the black girls going to come into the room to get this hair done? I mean, this ponytail that they got her rocking is cute. The updo is cute. But I'm like, what else can y'all do? What else is in y'all arsenal of hairstyles? But nonetheless, you have Charlotte trying to figure out what her life is going to be because right now she's on her honeymoon. But she's alone. She has no man in sight. And baby, that is not a way to celebrate a honeymoon, okay? So here go George Mama again. She's sitting around gossiping about her own son, saying that he's the king, and then she has the audacity to refer to Char as lucky, as if she is not an equipped woman, even though she's only 17. Like, this woman is very intelligent. Don't be hating on her. So she basically feels away because when she got married to her husband, there were 7 people who had to watch them perform the marital act. And I'm like, ma'am, so you mean tell me it was 7 individuals in this room? Were they out here giving y'all tips and tricks and pointers? Because ain't no way. So she's upset because now the couple wants privacy. And I'm like, girl, why are you finding an issue with this? Let your son be. Relax. Now, keep in mind, they are calling this the Great Experiment. AKA, we're trying to figure out if this can work out with a white man and a black woman. Woo, the first interracial couple. This is interesting, y'all. So she is making it her mission to find out if they did the deed, right? So then we see Char. She is eating by herself. Baby, we saw her eat alone so many times I was getting frustrated. Because every day this woman is waking up, getting dressed by these people, getting her hair done to go have breakfast alone, lunch alone, dinner alone, while her man is nowhere to be found. At one point, I honestly was waiting for her to tell everybody else to take a seat and get them some food as well, because you already know she has all these people standing around her as she's eating. I'm like, well, they might as well get them a plate as well, because it's not like the king is coming. Alright, so now we flash forward and we actually see Queen Charlotte having a conversation with her sons because she's like, listen, I need for y'all to get it together. You guys need to marry some honest women who have, some stature about themselves and have an actual child that can be an heir to this family. Because at this point, the bloodline is basically going to be stopping real soon, and that can't be. That cannot be a thing. So she's really trying to be on her sons to have a baby by the right type of woman because they got kids, a bunch of them, but they're not the type of kids that can have any title. So then we also go back to Char. Oh, keep in mind, you guys, I will be going back and forth with the names. When I say Queen Charlotte, that is when we get to the flash forward scenes, and Char, that's for when she's younger. All right, now let me jump back into the story. So she decides, you know what? I'm done with this. Where's my husband? I'm going to see my husband. And she pulls up on him. And baby, they try to give her the run around. And she's like, where is he at? They're like, he's not expecting you. I don't care. Where's my husband? Because I did not come all this way for me not to see this man. Okay? So then she goes off to go find him or whatever. And it's funny because you have, I think his name is Reynolds. Yeah, Reynolds and Brimsley. They go back into the house or whatever. Talking about it's a little breezy outside. Baby, next thing you know, they out here getting it popping. I said, you know what? At least somebody got to get something going on tonight because, baby, it won't be the king and the queen. So we jump back to Char. She finds George playing with the telescope yet again in the observatory, and she big mad. And honestly, I can't even knock her because it's like, you see me? Do you see me out here in these streets, sir? And you out here want to play with the stars and the moon? That's crazy. But nonetheless, she's like, listen, I would rather you be in a brothel. Now, that ain't what you want, Charlotte. I promise you, Char. You do not want him to be in a brothel, but I get what you're saying. So she does have to let him know that, she's out here getting changed like a rag doll while he just gets to look at the stars all day. And in this moment, we learn that she's only 17 years old and she wants to fight with George, but he refuses. He refuses to go back and forth with her. He just wants to send her home. So now we have the two sidekicks, aka Reynolds and Brimsley. They have to report back to Georgia Mama. She over here talking about so did they do the deed? What's going on in the house over there? And they just up there making stuff up and lying. I mean, pure D lying, talking about they're all over each other. No, they're not. Those two people can't stand each other. Like, they even lied and said that they consummated the marriage, and we all know that that did not happen yet. So then we slide on over to our homegirl Aggie. Agatha, she is just suffering, y'all. This old man is on top of her yet again, and I'm just like, why? Why is he doing this to her? He over here trying to do it all times of the day. I'm like, did this old man discover Viagra or something? What is going on? So we learn that he is determined to join these high society social clubs, because he's a lord now. But baby, they not letting him in. They said, not too fast, sir. You ain't the right skin color. You can't come up in our clubs like that. But now it is clicked into Agatha's mind that, I need to help my husband out and try to get him, get his foot in the door. Which I was like, okay, that's commendable, even though she can't stand this man on top of her. Back to the sidekicks. So basically, Brimsley is like, listen, the king needs to make some type of gesture towards the queen because it's getting real sad over here. And he ends up giving her a dog, right? I was like, oh, okay, cool. He got her this cute little dog. Because it was not a big dog, she just walked right on away from it. She was done. So y'all, this is another cute moment right here when we finally got our black girls together. We got Shar inviting Agatha over. So now they're just both speaking freely about their husbands. Agatha had to let her know that without them doing their marital duties, she might not even be queen. I said, Shar, you are in danger, girl. So Agatha brings out pen and paper. Well, paper and charcoal. And she literally draws out what happens that night. Well, what's supposed to happen or whatever. Now, I fell out when she was like, so how many times does he have to insert that thing? And Agatha, she compares it to a chore. And she also lets Shar know that this is something that she has to do. So, one thing that I want to point out in that scene was the fact that I absolutely love the fact that Agatha decided to draw pictures and actually have a real conversation with Shar because it blows my mind that they really let women in this time just go into a situation blindsided. Nobody's mother let them know what will possibly happen. Nobody gave them any type of information. And I'm like, yo, that is crazy. Because there's honestly so many women that's around that can say something. Whether it be the lady who do hair, whether it be someone's mom, something should give them some type of warning. But nope, you just gonna lay there and then see what happens. Alright, so then we flash forward to a conversation between Queen Charlotte, Lady Danbury, and Lady Bridgerton. So, of course, Queen Charlotte, she wants her kids to get married because now it is dire that they have a baby be born in the family. She asks Lady Bridgerton for advice because she has had two kids who have gotten married. We already know that would be Daphne as well as, what was the son's name? Was it Anthony? Y'all drop that in the comments. What was the son's name? Nonetheless, he got married, and Lady Bridgerton says that, love helps because we already know that from her experience, she actually loved the man that she's married. Her children found love and they married the people that they wanted to. But unfortunately, that is not everybody's story. Okay? So Queen Charlotte, she says that her sons, they have loved women, but they have loved the wrong women. And baby, we learned that they done have 50 kids. 50 kids out of wedlock. So now we get Lady Danbury's opinion about, what she should do with this situation. And what's funny to me is that Lady Bridgerton tried to throw her under the bus, saying that, oh, she has so many kids or whatever. And she's like, but girl, I only got 4 kids. You the one who got like 6, 7. Don't play with me. Nonetheless, according to her, marriage is a duty and it is not for pleasure. But of course, Lady Bridgerton, she believes in love. So now you have Queen Charlotte coming up with the bright idea that, you know what, we're going to go ahead, marry my sons off, and then love can come afterwards. That can be an afterthought. So then she tells Brimsley, so go ahead and make me a little list of potential wives that my kids can have because we need to get this ball rolling. So now we jump back in time. We are back with the sidekicks, and Reynolds is trying to tell Brimsley about Agatha coming over, and he's like, she's on her honeymoon, she should not have guests over. And Brimsley is like, not so fast, partner, because what's wrong with your boy George that he's avoiding her? That's the real question. Don't worry about Agatha coming to the house. What you need to worry about is why your friend Georgie refuses to come home to his wife. Yeah, let's go ahead and address that first before you come over here trying to check me about anything. So, here we go again, y'all. Here come George Mama. She has summoned Agatha to come on over. Now, she over here asking her 21 questions as if she is 50 Cent and Nate Dogg. Ma'am, leave Agatha out of this. So because Agatha isn't really giving her, the reality of what's going on in her son's marriage, she decides that not only is she going to call her Agatha, but she's also going to call her girl. I said, that had a little racial undertone, or am I tripping? So Agatha corrected her. And she's like, baby, it is Lady Danbury. Remember, that's the correct title that you gave me. So don't try to play in my face and don't be trying to take you back now. So now they talking woman to woman, right? And here go George Mama talking about some, oh, I want you to be my eyes and ears so I can know what's going on, with my son and the queen. Girl, goodbye. So at one point, Agatha had to tell her, listen, we don't need your money because last time I checked, we got the most money around here, okay? We got stacks on stacks. But what you can do is allow my husband to attend all these social clubs and get in freely because that's what he deserves because he's a lord now. And here go George Mama talking about some, oh, that's asking for too much. Is it though? I don't think so. I don't think that was asking for too much. So then Aggie's like, girl, you want to know what's going on up in Buckingham Palace, and you ain't going to know nothing without me. So go ahead and let my husband in them doors. I said, I know that's right, Agatha. Or should I say Lady Danbury? I'm not even going to lie. I'm always going to call her Agatha when she's younger and Lady Danbury when she's older. That's just how it registers for me. Now let's go ahead and move on. Because we finally see Char and Georgie. Baby, they get it popping. And I must say that the scene was tastefully done. We actually didn't see her body, like, what I'm saying, like fully nude. Because, they love to do that to women, which I hate. I mean, we did see his cheeks or whatever. But I will say that overall, the sex scenes in this season of the show, pretty tastefully done. Nonetheless, we jump back over to Aggie and her old husband. Baby, they are moving on up like the Jeffersons, okay? He don't know how it happened, but he believes it's because the king sees who he really is. And I'm like, no, baby. Your wife did all of this, but she gonna let you think it's all you. So, we jump back over to George's nosy mama. Here she go, questioning him now about the marriage and if he's done the do. Now, Georgie is going off on her. And I said, you know what? Finally, stand up to your mama because she's out of line. And the second part about it is that Char heard everything that was said. And if I was her, I would have been pissed off as well. So then we fast forward to Queen Charlotte. She's having breakfast and receives that list of potentials for her sons. Did y'all peep, though, in the background, how many Pomeranians she has as pets? Because we know that, George gave her a Pomeranian basically to hold her over while he was over here living in his place while she was living across the way. So I just wonder what made her continue to get these Pomeranians, considering she thought they were deformed bunnies. But I guess we're going to figure that out later. We go back to George, y'all. He starts to get the shakes and the quakes, and he requests a doctor arrive. I'm questioning. I'm like, wait, does he have like Parkinson's disease or what? What is going on? Like, I really need them to go ahead and bust this wide open because I'm very intrigued. But according to him, Shar can never know what is going on with him. And I'm like, well, listen, I need to know what's going on with you, okay? But you know what, y'all? Let's go ahead and jump on over to episode 3 because it is now Coronation Day and the king is MIA. MIA. On love, on love. Y'all remember that Omarion song? Totally not important to the scene. But so we actually see Brimsley. He catches a glimpse of a physician in the cellar while he was like treating the king. And when he goes to see Reynolds, like, excuse me, what's going on in there? That ain't the royal physician. Who is this man? He tells him that he saw nothing. He needs to go ahead and mind his business. Now, this is where we actually meet a familiar character, y'all. We meet Violet. Baby girl has a big mouth, and we clearly see that her mother is a piece of work because she feels some type of way that the black people can get into the whites only clubs. Now, her daughter overheard the conversation and she chimes in. It's clear that she does not have the same views as her mother, who wants to minimize her thinking. She wants her to not be smart. She wants her to just do as she's told and probably let a man control her life. Keep in mind, you guys, we learned that Violet is Lady Bridgerton. So, fast forward, and we see the queen is annoyed with these grown daughters that she got playing in a dollhouse. Now, I can't lie. I was giving them a side eye. I said, why are y'all playing with a dollhouse? Y'all a little bit too old for this. And even the queen was like, listen, instead of y'all playing with this dollhouse, y'all need to be playing with some men to make some babies. So, now we have another flashback. We're going back in time here with Agatha. She is meeting with George's mom yet again. Her husband is being a hater because he like, why I'm not being invited? Sir, you don't want to deal with that lady. I promise you do not want to deal with George's mom. So she basically tells her that the king and Shar are super close. And we do see that at the coronation. I mean, they were playing it up for real. Like, they were putting it on thick that they were really lovey-dovey and into each other. But baby, behind closed doors, they hated each other. She was over it. He was over it. Like, they literally have a schedule to do their marital duty just so they can have this baby and move on. Because they do not care for each other. Now, I do appreciate the fact that Shar can always confide in Agatha. And the crazy thing is that Agatha is over there telling George's mama lies every time. Every time she come here asking questions about them, she is lying. But they are just so in love. Oh my God. They are absolutely doing this and doing that together. Just lying. But I love it. So, now here comes the scene that got me, y'all. They are fighting at the dinner table. And next thing you know, he's bending her over the dinner table. With everybody there. So then you have Brimsley. He is like, everybody out, everybody out. He's trying to kick everybody out. I was cracking up. Now y'all, we even seen her riding with her surfboard, graining on that wood, in a moo-moo. In our granny's moo-moo, y'all. So now the honeymoon is over, y'all. And real life is ready to kick in. So the queen has to figure out what is she supposed to do next because she has no idea. We learned that the king is not social, and Brimsley actually slipped up and mentioned that there was a doctor that came to see him. So of course, Shar confronts him about it, and he's like, "There's nothing wrong. Like you didn't. There was nothing going on. You didn't see anything." He's going to deny. Okay. Again, y'all, we see Georgia. Are you calling him Georgia? We see George's mom harassing Agatha yet again, talking about if there's a baby coming because Lord Bute is on her ass about it. So Agatha is like, let me go ahead and flip this so that I can get some type of benefit of it. She's like, so go ahead and let me host the first ball of the season, right? Y'all, his mama was not going for it. But Aggie is like, listen, bitch, you need me to spill the tea to you, so you gonna let me have this ball. Y'all, we see that Aggie, she's in her bed with Granddaddy yet again. And when they're done, they have a conversation about the ball, or should I say the potential ball. And she says that the queen isn't enthusiastic about it. But in that scene, I actually realized that she actually cares about her husband. Yes, she hates sleeping with that old geezer, but he feels like they're trying to keep a black man down. But she lets him know that, he is enough. And one thing about Aggie, she is always 10 steps ahead of these hoes. So you already know she has a plan. Because this ball is going to happen. You guys are going to see who her husband really is and put some respect on his name. So she plans that she's throwing a ball. And she said, as long as I send out those invitations before George Mama do, I think we got this baby. So fast forward, and we see grown Violet, aka Daphne Mama, aka Lady Bridgerton. She's talking to Lady Danbury, and she's talking about how, it's her late husband's birthday, and it is so clear how much she really, really loved her husband. And, Lady Danbury tells her that, she's fortunate because she's felt what real love feels like. Now, as we can see, when it comes to Lady Danbury and I must call her Violet, Lady Bridgerton, they experienced two different types of relationships when it came down to these marriages that these people had. We're going to get deeper into Agatha's relationship in like a further episode, but Agatha unfortunately had to marry a man who was much, 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 much older than her. And also, she didn't really love him. She respected him. She wanted other people to have respect for him. You know what I'm saying? But there wasn't a real love connection. As far as Lady Bridgerton, she loved her husband. They probably were closer in age. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just experienced two different types of life. So their views on marriage is so different from each other. It's really interesting. So, flashback to young Violet. We see her mama being an ultimate hater because the black folks are throwing the first ball. Ma'am, get a hobby. So Violet is hyped though. Violet is ready to go. She's like, can I come? I heard that they house is bomb. I heard they house got the hookup. Because, like I said, they have money. Agatha and her husband have stacks on stacks. So their house is really nice. And I'm just like, well, girl, I want to see the house too. You said they got a what? They have a meadow? They have what else going on over there? I was hyped like Violet. So now we see the Queen's Court and Violet Mama talking trash yet again. But she's literally talking trash about the Queen, and the Queen is literally less than 10 feet away. Aggie, she ain't here for it though. Because she's like, y'all not about to talk about Shar while she's right here. So, did y'all see how Violet Mama came at Aggie though, calling her ball, your little ball? Baby, we would have had a little scuffle right there. That's what would have been little. It wouldn't have been no little ball. It just would have been a little scuffle, a little beat down. Okay? Because I'm sick of her. But here's the thing. You have Violet Mama as well as the other white women there saying that no, they can't make it to the ball because, they have other things going on. But, hopefully the ball will be great for you. And I'm just like, okay, so y'all don't want to attend because she's black? Wow. So then we have George still avoiding Charlotte. All he want to do is play in dirt and vegetables. And I'm just like, come on now. So then we hop on over to this group meeting of the Black People Haters Club, which includes, you already know, George's mama and her group. Because according to them, the parliament is in an uproar. and they don't want Agatha to host the ball. I mean, I am so tired of all these racist people. I don't want them to attend anyway. I really don't. So Aggie, she's trying to talk to Shar Shar about her ball, and she's like too busy. Shar Shar is too busy to pay attention to what Agatha has going on. She's like looking out the window, staring at her husband, and Aggie had to check her. Like, girl, you are the queen. And with that title, you need to bring your people up to be on an equal playing field. You not worried about the right things right now. You worried about this if this white man like you, but we have bigger fish to fry, girlfriend. And I was like, thank you. Tell her something because I'm tired of her just floating around here worried about George and his foolishness. So now this gives Char the right idea to go ahead and finesse her husband. So she finessed her husband into not only having more sex with her, because you already know they had their assigned days. She's like, no, we got to do more days than that. And on top of that, he needs to do something for her. She lets him know that he needs to attend the ball with her. So now everybody else is going to show up, all because the king will be there. I'm not sure if they would have shown up if it was just the queen, but because the king is there, everybody wants to show up. They are so phony, right? So of course we see the Ledgers attend, and we already know Violet Mama is a hater. However, her dad, on the other hand, he wants to be friends with Lady Danbury. He probably want a taste of Aggie, if you want to be honest. Now we're gonna see what happens in the future, but I'm just saying, I think he might have a thing for her. So when George and Shar Shar come through, they start to dance to If I Ain't Got You by Alicia Keys. And I'm just like, come on through, strings, because I love when Bridgerton does this. I promise they are in their bag when they have the orchestra playing these modern songs that we know. I love it. I eat it up every time. I promise that when I get married, there has to be some strings. There has to be an orchestra. Okay, maybe not a whole orchestra. A solid 3 players. As long as it sounds good. Somebody got to play on some strings, okay? Nonetheless, let's jump back into the storyline here. So they are dancing to this song, and next thing you know, Violet Daddy come over there asking Aggie to dance. Told y'all he wanted some of that chocolate. So in this moment, George's mom, we finally learned her name this episode, which was Lady Augusta. Um, she actually gets to see how happy her son is. And George, he actually realizes that with him and Shar, they can really, be a great team together. They can impact the future. So I feel like we are finally on the good foot when it comes to George and Shar. Now, y'all, this next scene got me. This old man was hitting it from the back. Y'all already know what old man I'm talking about. I'm talking about Aggie's husband. The old man done stroked out, literally. Now, why did she get outside, tell her maid, girl, we ain't gotta run those baths no more. We ain't got, no, she said we ain't gotta run them as often. And her maid was like, it's done? She was like, yeah, it's done. Baby, these two celebrated that he was dead. I said, you know what, I can't even be mad at that. So next thing you know, they like, okay, we gotta pretend like we didn't know what was going on. So then she runs back into the room. They have a whole reenactment with all the theatrics just because this man is dead. Baby, I fell out. I said, Aggie, you are one for this, but I appreciate it. So fast forward, we actually see Lady Danbury and Lady Bridgerton. They're talking, and Lady Danbury has to let her know that she didn't get to experience love because her husband was garbage. Lord Danbury was terrible. So, like I said previously, these two women have lived totally different lives when it comes to marriage. We then see that the queen, she asks Brimsley why her daughters aren't married yet, and according to him, it's because they don't want her stuck in time because she's still his queen. And I'm like, so what would y'all expect of her to get remarried or something? Especially in those times. That doesn't mean that y'all never have to get married just because, your mom is stuck being the queen to this man who is, I guess, mentally ill. Like, I'm not exactly sure what the phrase we want to say for George at this point, It is clear that this is not the life that Queen Charlotte wanted for her daughters at all. And also, I wish that they would want more for themselves as well. So, y'all, this is where we end the episode, right? We literally see George have a complete episode. He is obsessed with Venus. According to him, that is his angel. This man was drawing on the walls. And when Charlotte woke up and saw him, he runs out to the yard. He runs out to his farming area, his garden. He strips out of his clothes. I mean, I was concerned. I was concerned for Charlotte at this point because I'm like, girl, what is going on? Is this something that you gonna be able to handle? Like, woo, this is a lot. So, she does talk him off the ledge. She does bring him back down to earth, and she's able to get him to go back into the house, and that is where the episode ends. So at this point, I'm like, she's finally going to figure out what is going on with George, and baby, we gonna get to that. Y'all, this is my review for episodes 2 and 3. Let me know what y'all thought about it. Did y'all really like these episodes? Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.